Toyota has finally announced the all-new J300 series Land Cruiser for the global market. Unfortunately, we won't be seeing this amazing Land Cruiser come to the shores of North America. But what if I told you we're getting something better? No, we're heading over to our good friends over at Lexus Enthusiast. They brought this to our attention, and they're getting this information about this new LX from Land Cruiser Updates, who has been sharing so much information with me throughout the coming months leading up to the Land Cruiser. And he's getting this information from a source in Indonesia. Without further ado, I'm beating around the bush too much. LX570 and LX600, all these different trims have leaked, and we're gonna look at this. I don't know exactly what these numbers on the left mean. This almost looks like an ordering sheet to me. I've never ordered any vehicles for a dealership, but to me, this is what it looks like. Now, we're all familiar with the LX570. We're also familiar with the 570 Sport, which has the different grille on it. It's a little bit more luxurious. I'm seeing this as the LX570 base and the LX570 Sport version, which is typically full-blown luxury, like luxury build here in the United States. Now, if you look at these numbers here, we'll get to the LX600, but if you look at here, this says UR, which means the 3UR engine, the V8, the 5.7 liter V8, and J201R. J201 is the code name for the 200 series Land Cruiser and LX. So these next three are, well, one is confirming the LX600, which we've known for several years now. I think it's been trademarked for a long time, and when I used to work for Lexus, it was, kind of making its way in the rumor mill there. The next LX is probably going to be called the LX600 twin turbo V6. And of course, we'll get in the spreadsheet after this, but we need to try our best to break down what these LX600 things mean here. Now, keep in mind, this is for the Indonesia market. It doesn't mean it's coming like these segments, the 4x4, the FSport, the VIP. We'll break those down. It doesn't mean it's coming like that for the rest of the world. You have to keep that in mind. So LX600 4x4, all right? So to me, this one is going to be the base model. This probably doesn't have the third row of seats, which, by the way, they do fold somewhat flat now into the vehicle, as we found out on the Land Cruiser unveil yesterday. They're no longer the jump seats that fold to the side of the vehicle. So they fold flat, more like a Tahoe or a Suburban does, right? The LX600 F Sport. We haven't seen an F Sport on any body-on-frame Lexus vehicle. We've only seen them on crossover SUVs, as well as sedans and coupes. So the fact that we have an F Sport coming to the LX600 is extraordinarily exciting. And how would Lexus do this? Are they just going to make it more street worthy? I don't think there's a good chance of that happening. Yesterday, Toyota announced the GRS, the GR Sport model of the Land Cruiser, and that was a surprise for everyone. We knew what the non-GR Sport models looked like. We knew that there was a GR Sport model coming, but man, it took it to the next level in terms of off-road capability, had a lift on it, had way better bumpers on it for approach angles, fatter tires, upgraded suspension, better looking front end. It looked way more, masculine, less elegant, which is cool with me. I think the GR Sport Land Cruiser rocked everyone's socks, and that is the bar I'm going to hold this LX600 F Sport to. Just like GR Sport for sedans and coupes for Toyota is the more sporty model, I do believe that the GR Sport that they applied to the Land Cruiser that took it more off-road is going to be the same thing that the F Sport is doing to this LX600. And we already know, based off an interview earlier this year, that even though we were not going to get the Land Cruiser, Toyota let us know that we should be looking towards the Lexus lineup to kind of fill that niche. Well, the LX and the Land Cruiser have always been very similar, and this F Sport LX600, to me, this is going to be the off-roading variant of the LX. Production ready. Take it with a grain of salt. I haven't said that yet. Again, speculation hype train. It's running rampant now for the LX because it's already ended with the Land Cruiser. We pretty much know everything about it. But this LX600 F Sport is what I'm most excited about on this page. Now, what are these letters over here? If we know that this is the V8 and the 200 series Land Cruiser, well, obviously this is the 300 series Land Cruiser. You see 310, all right? That 3 number alluding to the 300 series Land Cruiser. VJ, I believe that's the code name for the new twin turbo V6. Okay, so all of these are getting the same twin turbo V6. They all are A310Rs, and they're all Lexus LX 600. So A310R must be the designation for the LX variant of the Land Cruiser. Now, what about this VIP? I've been talking about this off-road, more than likely this off-road specific FSport LX 600. What about this VIP? Guys, this VIP, one thing comes to mind. Well, maybe two things come to mind. Okay. First and foremost, I'm thinking of the VIP LM. I think it's 300H or 350. Okay. The LM is a Lexus van based off the Toyota Alphard. And there's a package in it. It's like, I don't know, it's probably the executive package or VIP package like this, that they take out the rear seats. So you have this huge vehicle. There are only 4 seats: driver, front passenger, and 2 VIP passengers in the back. These seats fully recline. They have ottomans, of course. You have a champagne cooler. You have a massive, I think it's like a 26-inch TV screen in there. This VIP LX 600, to me, this is the vehicle to mimic that LM 300H or LM 350, but maybe for more of the global market. You got to realize the LX is much more globally accessible compared to the LM, which is only for like China and Southeast Asia, as far as I'm aware. So this LX 600 VIP would be the most expensive variant. I'm probably thinking 120, 130 in America if it comes here. I definitely expect the FSport model to come. Because that is what Toyota has kind of alluded to as replacing the Land Cruiser here. And I feel like I'm done talking about the VIP LX, so it's gonna be badass. It doesn't get me that excited with, you know, like the glass that turns cloudy with the flip of a switch and then clear when you turn it off. The fact that Lexus has been teasing the GXOR, and I saw it, kind of got my hands on it when I was in Plano. And the J201 concept, where they took the LX 570 and they made it as badass as possible, putting all these aftermarket, off-roading specific, adventure, overlanding sort of accessories and equipment on the vehicle. Like, Lexus wouldn't be doing that if they didn't plan on implementing it somehow, some way into the lineup. So you got to keep in mind, they've had 2 GXOR concepts, and then we also had the J201 concept based on the LX, of course. So to me, this makes the most sense. The LX 600 FSport, off-roading. VIP is going to be luxury. I don't know if they're going to actually take out that 3rd row of seats on the VIP one. Again, this could just be for the Indonesian market or the Southeast Asian or even the Chinese market. I'm not quite sure. Remember, they build these things different depending on the market they sell them in. Look, we didn't get the sport version of the Lexus LX 570 in America for a long time compared to like the Middle East. And we never got the supercharged 3UR engine with the 5.7 liter V8. But what does this mean for the upcoming GX? Well, the GX has pretty much been greenlit, as far as I've heard, that is going to make a return to the US market in an all-new platform. It will be based on the same platform as this Land Cruiser, obviously modified to share more with the new Land Cruiser Prado in the next 2 to 3 years. And it probably will be very similar to the 4Runner as well. The new 4Runner is supposed to be coming out at the end of next year. But the new GX, absolutely. If the LX is getting an FSport model, you better believe that the GX that is coming a year or 2 after this LX will be coming in an FSport, guys, as well, focusing on that off-road capability of the GX. What kind of power can we expect to be coming into the LX? Well, I think the most reasonable thing is twin turbo V6 that we're getting in the Land Cruiser as well as the Tundra. And we got those numbers confirmed. Okay, so it's going to be this one right here, the V35A FTS. It's tuned a little bit differently than it is And the Lexus LS, a little less horsepower, a little bit more pound-feet of torque. So we got 409, 410 horsepower here, and 479, 480 pound-feet of torque. Fuel economy should go up massively on all the new TNGF platforms. That is the base engine for this LX 600. They're eventually going to hybridize it, and those conservative outputs are going to be 550 pound-feet of torque and 440 horsepower. Could be a lot more, and you can probably expect a plug-in hybrid to come eventually as well. Now, it's really hard to predict the engine in the upcoming Prado as well as the Lexus GX. Now, they could hybridize inline 4 turbos. We know that there's a new inline 4 turbo coming for the NX, and this is my stab at the inline 4 turbo hybrid that could be seen in the GX. 282 horsepower engine, so 320 horsepower and about 400 pound-feet of torque. It's possible that we could get a single turbo V6, but we have no evidence that Toyota or Lexus is working on a single turbo V6. All we know is that there's the twin turbo V6 seen in the LS, the Land Cruiser, the Tundra, Sequoia, and this LX upcoming. Would it be badass if they put that twin turbo V6 in the GX? Abso-frickin-lutely. I just don't think they're going to do it. They don't want to take too much sales away from the LX. That's just how I see it. And I just don't see that twin turbo V6 coming to the Prado. You got to keep in mind the GX is the Prado. Yes, we don't get the 2.8 liter diesel. This diesel over here, the 201 horsepower and 368 pound-feet of torque that is seen in the Prado. But I expect this 2.8 liter diesel to continue over into the next Prado. We're not going to get this diesel in the United States. I don't expect us to get the 3.3 liter twin turbo V6 diesel in the LX. There's a lot of open-ended things I brought up today, so hopefully I'll see you in the comments adding to this conversation. What in the world are these names? Now, hopefully you brought your grain of salt, but in the end, I do believe there's going to be 3 different LXs coming to Indonesia anyways, but it's likely we could get these 3 flavors of the LX as well. Base, probably 2 rows only, not very luxurious in comparison to the VIP anyways. Then we're going to have the FSport, off-roading focus. It'll look pretty badass. It'll look very similar to the GRS Land Cruiser. And then you're going to have the LX 600 VIP, which is going to be out of this world in terms of luxury. Probably big screen, champagne coolers, vibrating seats in the back. Not vibrating, massaging. You guys know. I just think these are the last of the LX 570s. I don't think they're going to keep the LX 570 around. I think it's going to be retired this year. And early 2022 is when we're going to see the LX 600, and I'm expecting this vehicle to be unveiled this year. Don't know if it's going to happen, but that's what I'm expecting for the LX 600. But guys, I'm going to end it there. I'll see you down in the comments. Smash the like button if you're excited for anything Land Cruiser or LX. Subscribe for more updates because this story is going to evolve, especially when I hear back from certain sources about this little snippet that we have. So special thanks to Lexus enthusiasts and special thanks to Land Cruiser updates. I'll see you guys in the next video.